Hello guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Football Show. As today we're going to talk about yesterday's Premier League games, match day 32, your Sunday's games, and also we're going to talk about games from other European leagues, and potentially, if I have enough time, we could preview the day's game between Manchester United and Leeds United. So let's get started. Let's start with yesterday's games. Premier League match day 32. Crystal Palace beat Newcastle United 2-1. Especially when Newcastle United were winning 1-0 in the first half, thanks to the lead-up goal from Osilla before half-time. But then the second half, Crystal Palace with a fantastic comeback in the last 15-20 minutes. Two goals from Mateta, who once again stepped up for Crystal Palace, and he scored the winning goal towards the end from the penalty spot, which gives Crystal Palace very good 3 points, as they are not far away from the European places. They are now 5 points behind the European places, and they've got a game in hand. However, that game in hand they have is away to Manchester City. So, great win for Crystal Palace, and a great comeback considering they were losing against Newcastle. And for Newcastle and Eddie Howe, I mean, for them, I mean, they're not, like I said, they're not far away from the European places also. They're only 5 points behind, but they had a great opportunity to close the gap on the likes of Brentford, Everton, Brighton, and they were winning 1-0 against Crystal Palace, and for them to throw it away and to lose 2-1 is it's not great. And they're now 14th in the Premier League. I mean, is the time the time now for Newcastle United to move on from Eddie Howe? Because some Newcastle fans they would like to move Eddie Howe on. They like bring a new coach. Listen, I think Eddie Howe is, in general, he's done a great job in Newcastle United, you know, going there to the first season where Newcastle had problems, relegation, and then next year he put them in the Champions League. The next year he had some difficulties to deal with, but he finished 7th. Next year Newcastle came back, qualified for Champions League, won the Carabao Cup. There is two Carabao Cup finals in 3 years, and they won a trophy as well. But yeah, I have to say this season has not been good enough. It's been dreadful from Newcastle's standards compared to the previous seasons where they were always competing for top 4. Most of the times they were competing for top 4, I should say. And yeah, like, they got knocked out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup by Man City. Okay, fine. They got knocked out by Man City in FA Cup last 16. Okay, fine. They got knocked out in the last 16 in Champions League by Barcelona. Okay, fine. But you look at the Premier League and their performances have been absolutely embarrassing. For them to be 14th in the Premier League is unacceptable for a team like Newcastle. I know the Premier League is getting more harder, more difficult, but there's no way Newcastle United should be 14th in the Premier League. So yeah, with the quality of the players they have, and I know they made some mistakes in the transfer market in terms of bringing players. They brought in players like Ramsey and those players, but it hasn't Jacob Ramsey, and it hasn't worked out. But still, not good enough, and it's not been a very good season at all for Newcastle United. So I think if they don't qualify for European football, I think it's going to be very difficult to make a case for Newcastle United to keep Eddie Howe. Because I think Newcastle United, if they, with the new owners they brought in, the new owners who came in 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, that Newcastle wants stability. They want every single season to always finish in the top 4, always finish in the top 5, always play Champions League football every year. Not 1 year qualify for Champions League, the next year not play European football, the next year play Champions League football, the next year not play European football. So I think Newcastle would like stability, and I think Eddie Howe has done a very good job at Newcastle, but maybe those players are, let's say, tired of playing this system, this kind of way under Eddie Howe, and maybe they need something fresh, in my opinion. So yeah, let's move on to Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. A 1-1 draw a critical point for Nottingham Forest in the battle to stay relegation. Aston Villa got the lead themselves with an own goal from Murillo. However, Nottingham Forest responded in the 38th minute from the goal from Nico Williams, and which gives a point for Nottingham Forest, a decent point in the relegation battle. And as for Aston Villa, they are 3 points clear of Liverpool, and they are 7 points clear of Chelsea. I mean, Aston Villa should qualify for Champions League football. I mean, yes, their form has not been great the past months, but Chelsea has been have been dreadful as well, and Aston Villa have a good lead. And let's not forget, Champions League football is 5 places, not 4 places to qualify. So I think Aston Villa should still qualify for the Champions League, even though their form have not been great in the past couple of months. And as for Nottingham Forest, is a very critical point, especially with Tottenham losing. I'm going to talk about Tottenham, of course. With West Ham winning, for Nottingham Forest to get a point, it's a decent point. They're 2 points clear of Tottenham. Same point, 1 point clear. Sorry, 3 points clear of Tottenham. 1 point clear of West Ham, and same points with Leeds United. But Leeds United have to play today, so let's see what happens. So. Yeah, and speaking of Tottenham, obviously they lost 1-0 away from home to Sunderland, thanks to the winning goal from Michele. And listen, you have to give credit to Sunderland because the fans were fantastic once again, and at home they were very strong. I mean, I thought like Tottenham in some periods of the game they looked quite okay, they looked quite decent, had some chances, but Sunderland, I have to say, defensively they were strong. And scoring, and obviously, in the Premier League, when you are a promoted team, you need to be good at your place. You need to be strong at home to have a better chance. And Sunderland have ticked that box massively. They've been very, very strong at home this season. You have to give them a lot of credit. They've been fantastic, and for them to be in the position where they are 10th in the Premier League, and they are not far away from European places, is fantastic. You have to give them a lot of credit. For them to be 10th, and obviously the job that Rigier Lebrun, the manager of Sunderland, he's done a fantastic job. So yeah, great season for Sunderland, and obviously this game showed or summarized the work that it's one of the games that summarizes the work that Sunderland have done this season, which is fantastic, to stay up and to be comfortably stable in the Premier League, mid-table, and maybe even qualify for Europe. But from Tottenham Hotspur's side, it's again another loss, another defeat, especially if they want to try to stay up. I mean, there are some moments in the season where you think like, surely, they can't be doing this bad. Surely Tottenham are going to come back. Surely they're going to stay up. Surely they're going to respond very quickly, and they're going to win some games, and other teams will start to slip up. Surely Tottenham are not going to get relegated. It's a bit like Leicester City winning the Premier League in 2016, where you think like, yeah, surely Leicester are going to start dropping points. Surely Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez will stop shining, and other teams will start to step up. But Leicester didn't fall off. They didn't fall off, and they continued doing well. And you think, and people were like, oh, they actually might do it. And this is a similar case to Tottenham. Tottenham might actually get relegated. And I actually think right now, if you ask me, are Tottenham get relegated? I think the answer is yes, because Roberto De Zerbi, even though he's a very good manager, has he got enough time to make those players play in the way he wants them to play, in order to stay up? And they have to step up right now. They have to deliver right now, because they don't have much time to step up. And you look at the remaining games. You look at this Tottenham side. They have no fight, no spirit, no cojones, no passion. They've got none of it. They're weak. Like, what you want from a team that is trying to stay away from relegation is to be solid at the back and able to have players to score goals. Tottenham don't have any of it. They don't have players who can score goals, and they don't keep clean sheets. And they show fragility at the back. You look at the remaining games. They've got Brighton at home, not an easy game. Wolves away. I think they might drop points in that game. Aston Villa away, yeah, lose. They're gonna lose that game. Leeds at home. Uh, it's a big game, obviously. More teams trying to stay up. But Tottenham at home. Chelsea away, yeah, they lose that game. Everton at home, not an easy game. I mean, they've got games that are not easy. They've got games that are not easy at all. And Tottenham are in a serious threat of being relegated. They are in a serious threat of being relegated. And I think they will. I think they'll get relegated. You look at the other teams like Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. You see a fight in them. You see a team chemistry. You see a spirit. You see a togetherness from them. You see them being strong in some parts. West Ham, they've been quite solid at the back since Nuno Espirito Santo came in. Leeds United, they can play very good football and they've got good players who can score goals for them. Nottingham Forest, they're a good team. They can cause anybody problems. They got a draw against Manchester City, and they smashed Tottenham 3-0. They had a great performance against Liverpool, lucky, and were unlucky not to get a point. You look at this Tottenham side. What other things that you can be like? Yeah, they are good in it. Yeah, this is why you're hanging your hat on. There's nothing. There's nothing you can you're hanging your hat on in this team. This team's got nothing. No fight, no passion, nothing. And I think they're gonna go down. I really think they're gonna go down. I really think so. And let's not forget this is the same Spurs side that finished 17th last season. Let's not forget that this is the same side that finished 17th. And for them to finish 18th, to be this worse and to get actually relegated, and obviously the teams around them, yes, Tottenham finished 17th last season, but they were comfortably, far away from relegation because the teams who dropped down, like Ipswich, Southampton, were poor. Whereas the teams, even though who are fighting for relegation, they're good. They are more competitive. The likes of West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, so even Wolves at times. So in the last 4 or 5 months. So Tottenham are the only side to have not won a Premier League game this year. That's embarrassing. Tottenham, we're talking about. So Tottenham are in a really, really serious threat of being relegated. They are in a serious threat. Chelsea against Manchester City. Manchester City destroyed Chelsea 3-0 at the Stamford Bridge with goals from Nico O'Reilly, Mark Gay and Jeremy Doku. And I tell you what, Manchester City deserved that win. First half I thought Chelsea did quite well. They started quite well. I thought they were looking really good. I think City were quite... they were not bad, but I don't think they were great at all. I thought Rodri at times he looked very, very poor, especially making some sloppy passes. And City were not great in the first half. They were not bad, but they were not great. Chelsea, I thought they were looking really good at times, and maybe they should have had a lead in the first half. Cucurella scored, but it was disallowed because of offside. João Pedro had a good chance to make it 1-0. Just really looking good in the first half. But second half, Guardiola must have said something in the halftime team talk, which made City look like the City that we all know in the second half. They were fantastic in the second half. They absolutely destroyed Chelsea, and it was men against boys in the second half, basically. A golfing clash between Manchester City and Chelsea was there to be seen in the second half. First goal, Nico O'Reilly with the goal. Second goal, brilliant assist from Cherki once again. 2 assists from Cherki. What a baller! What a baller, man! Absolutely fantastic performance with 2 assists and the way he was destroying Chelsea defenders. Amazing. Like you look at Cherki's performance, and sometimes when you look at Guardiola's teams, you're like, some players they're not like, it's all systematic at times. Sometimes those players they don't let's say show their freedom. Let's say you look at Cherki and he shows he's been given freedom, and every time where Rodri has the ball or Semenyo has the ball, Bernardo has the ball, they look for Cherki. Okay, where's Cherki? Because Cherki is that kind of player who can make something happen. He can dribble. He can do something special. He can do something magic. And he showed that. He showed that, whenever he's played for Manchester City this season, and in this game as well, he showed that fantastically well. First goal, Nico O'Reilly, and the second goal, Mark Gay, 2-0. Very, very good assist from Cherky. Great goal from Mark Gay as well. The second goal, I thought he was amazing as well. Third goal, Jeremy Duku with the third goal to smash it off.